Good evening and welcome. You're watching the Newstrack. I'm Rahul Kanwal. Big political fireworks over Rahul Gandhi's appearance before a Surat court where the Congress is seeking to stay his disqualification as MP. That is my top focus on the Newstrack tonight.
Congress flexes muscle, unites for Rahul. BJP calls it shameless, brazen, darbari.
अब डराने के लिए, जुडिशरी को आप धमकाने के लिए ये जो नाटक कर रहे हैं, ये बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है. मैं इसका खंडन करता हूं.
Congress calls it grit, BJP calls it tamasha. Congress rallies around their hero number one. Unafraid versus unashamed war erupts. Big focus on Newstrack.
It was meant to be a massive Congress show of strength, and the party top brass was there for Rahul Gandhi's appearance in a Surat court. The former MP was seeking a stay on his conviction. What he got instead was a bail extension. Rahul remains a disqualified MP for the time being. Here is what happened in court today.
Smiling and waving. A clear sigh of relief as disqualified Congress MP Rahul Gandhi walked out of the Surat Sessions Court where he challenged his conviction and 2-year-old jail term in defamation case. The Surat court granted bail to Rahul Gandhi against a surety of 15,000 rupees. The court will hear his petition for a stay on his conviction on April 13th and his appeal against the lower court order on May 3rd. The bail will continue till the court takes a final decision on the challenge.
आज राहुल जी की बेल एप्लीकेशन और सेंटेंसिंग जो है उसको स्टे की एप्लीकेशन थी और कन्विक्शन स्टे की एप्लीकेशन भी थी. कोर्ट ने हमारी सुनवाई से एप्लीकेशन जो बेल एप्लीकेशन है वो मंजूर की है. 15,000 के उनके बेल मंजूर किए हैं और जो सेंटेंसिंग है उसको स्टे किया है. उनकी जो कन्विक्शन की जो एप्लीकेशन है स्टे के लिए उसको 13th डेट को पोस्ट किया है.
Now, what does this mean for Rahul Gandhi? No interim stay on conviction. This means there is no impact on his disqualification. And till the court takes a final call, Rahul cannot contest elections. Soon after getting bail, Rahul tweeted a cryptic message. He said, "This is a fight to save democracy against Mitrakal. Truth is my weapon, and the truth is my support in this struggle." The Congress leader appears to be facing a long court battle ahead. With Gopi Manyar and Saurav Vakhtania, Bureau Report, India Today.
While the Congress called this a show of strength, the BJP has termed Rahul's appearance in Surat a show of shamelessness. The BJP says that the Congress is trying to pressurize the judiciary. Here's how the political war of words played out.
Rahul Gandhi appealing his conviction in the 2019 defamation case. Staging a show of strength at the Surat court. Challenging the 2-year jail term over Modi Chor remark. With a host of Congress heavyweights including sister Priyanka Gandhi and 3 Congress CMs in tow, Congress pulled out all stops to ensure that Rahul had a big spectacle. Party workers lined up the roads and posters were put up saying "Daro mat." BJP, however, ripped into Rahul, slamming him for allegedly trying to arm twist the court through muscle flexing, after insulting OBC community and declining to apologize.
पिछले 3 वर्ष जब मुकदमा चल रहा था तब श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी तब क्यों नहीं लाई इंसान और माफी मांगने और अपील करने तो उसी दिन जा सकते थे. क्यों नहीं गए? कांग्रेस को उसी दिन पता था कि जिस समय 2 साल की सजा राहुल गांधी जी को हुई उसी समय उनकी सदस्यता चली जाएगी. लेकिन कांग्रेस ने ड्रामा रचा राहुल गांधी के समय.
आपका ट्रायल चला था उस समय क्यों नहीं किया? अब जब आपका कन्विक्शन हो गया तो आप जो अपीलेट कोर्ट को अब डराने के लिए, जुडिशरी को आप धमकाने के लिए ये जो नाटक कर रहे हैं ये बिल्कुल ठीक नहीं है। मैं इसका खंडन करता हूं।
क्या आप भारत के न्याय प्रणाली जो है, न्यायपालिका जो है, इंडियन जुडिशियरी, उसके ऊपर प्रेशर डालना चाहते हैं?
Congress hit back at BJP saying that even BJP leaders had indulged in arm twisting the court.
राजनीति कोई ड्रामे की बात नहीं है, वहाँ कानून अपना काम करेगा। हम तो उनके साथ खड़े होने वाले लोग हैं, ये बताने जा रहे हैं कि साथ खड़ा होने में कोई हर्ज होता है।
आपके साथ सत्य नहीं है, हमारे पास सत्य है। उनको हम उनके लिए आग्रह आपसे कर रहे हैं, आप समझो बात को। और उसको लेके आप जो है अरेस्ट कर रहे हो, लोगों को थाने में बैठा रहे हो, गाड़ी सीज कर रहे हो। ये जो तरीका है, मैं समझता हूँ कि ये लोग इसको लाइक नहीं करेंगे और ये लोकतंत्र विरोधी तरीके हैं। और अभी तक इनको समझ में आ नहीं रही, क्योंकि इनका विश्वास भी डेमोक्रेसी में नहीं है।
Rahul can get back his MP post and evade 8 years ban on contesting polls only in case of court relief. Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's go across to the legal eagle who's the brain trust behind Rahul Gandhi's legal defense, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha, eminent jurist, now joining us on this broadcast. Dr. Singhvi, I'm not fully certain I understand Rahul Gandhi's legal strategy, because you've gone to court asking for bail. There was some suggestions from Congress quarters that he may want to surrender, that he's not interested in taking bail, that he wants to fight this legally. If bail is what you sought, why couldn't have this been done earlier, around the 23rd, when the order came out? You could have done last week what you've done today.
Rahul, I am so grateful for the unsolicited advice coming from all quarters. BJP, supposed Congress advice, all and sundry. Let me make 2 or 3 things very clear. Doing an actual litigation is very different from giving unasked gratuitous advice. Number one, what has escaped everybody, especially those from the BJP who are giving us this advice about the 9 days delay between 23rd and now, when the appeal is listed, a little more than 9 days. What is forgotten by them is that, and forgotten by a lot of people today, you notice the deliberate abstention by the complainant and his BJP backers today. The only object of this was to delay further, so that notice would formally have to be issued by the appeal court, sessions court, and the notice would have to be served. So that's the first clear evidence of delaying tactic. And I am predicting it will continue, though the judge has been very right and very correct in giving the complainant a right to file a reply till 10th and before. So the 13th, the matter is taken up. I predict, and I'd be happiest if I'm wrong, that they will try further delaying tactics. And that's the real message of today. Number two, who has told these gratuitous advice givers that Rahul Gandhi will do this and that? Fortunately, it is us who are advising him and not those people. Rahul Gandhi got bail on the first day, or got a suspension of sentence on the first day. He could have waited till 21st, when that period of 30 days expires. Today, since he was appearing in a proceeding which has 2 limbs, one is stay of conviction, the other is also stay of sentence possible today, he simply continued and got that request today through, so that what was given earlier on 23rd continues. What is so extraordinary about it?
No, so what is his legal strategy? As best as you can outline it for us in the public domain, what, according to you, is Rahul Gandhi's legal strategy from here on? He stands disqualified, as if things stand the way that it is, he won't be able to fight the next election. Are you hoping to get this verdict overturned?
So you've heard 2 points of my strategy, haven't you? One is the delaying tactic of the BJP. The second is the stay of sentence continued. Third, the focus, as I've said before, in the 1 week or 10 days which it took to file the appeal, and everybody ignores the translation, not only of the judgment, but of the evidence, the logistics, the person drafting the appeal, filing it, moving it. And we were having a lot of fun on television channels by, people advising us otherwise. The only strategy which I've talked about is that the focus is on stay of conviction. Now, I can't help it if it takes at least few days to file the appeal, and the meanwhile the government and the other authorities or the Lok Sabha Secretariat hotfoots it to declare a disqualification. It doesn't mean that I'm obliged to file a half-baked appeal because I'm racing against time to prevent the disqualification. In practice, although the disqualification means with the session all but over, in practice what it means is that they were able to snatch the house away from him on a certain date. There's no parliament to attend, or not much of parliament to attend. Now, for that, the only thing is a stay of conviction. And the day we get a stay of conviction, we will have an automatic cessation of disqualification. That's consequential, that's decided. Now, obviously...
So will you try that in the Sessions Court? Will you go to a higher court? Do you intend to go to the Supreme Court for this?
Why? We are in the Sessions Court. Where is there to go? We're in the Sessions Court for that very purpose. Today, the notice issued, which was not required but for the dealing tactics of BJP, is on our stay of conviction application. The date given till 10th for them to file a reply is on our stay of conviction application. Now, the date for 13th April to argue the matter is for a stay of conviction application.
The BJP's argument is that this is Rahul Gandhi's comeuppance because when he tore that ordinance promulgated by the Manmohan Singh government, it is exactly that same law for which he's been disqualified. It's not as if the Speaker's office has done anything out of turn. The moment the conviction is read out by the Sessions Court, he formally stands disqualified, and the Speaker merely implemented that offer, and therefore it's wrong for the Congress and for you to try and blame the BJP government for acting in haste.
Nobody is saying that disqualification does not follow a conviction. Nobody is saying that. That's elementary concept. But is it written in the law that you will, it is an empowering position. You can disqualify immediately after 2 days, after 4 days. Good governance and good practice requires that you give the man reasonable time to file an appeal. We don't mind. Let them disqualify him, doesn't matter. He's still going for the appeal of stay of conviction. And when that happens, automatically this disqualification will go. But do you know the number of cases, Rahul, where conviction has happened and where they choose, there is no disqualification order for days on end? There are any number of such cases.
Sure.
So we understand that, but nobody is blaming them legally. They have the right to disqualify immediately. All I'm saying is that people advising us that Rahul Gandhi took 8, 9, 10 days to file an appeal, it takes time to do this logistically. If at that time you disqualify, you disqualify.
None less than the law minister has accused Rahul Gandhi and the Congress of turning this into a publicity charade, that you're basically trying to take multiple chief ministers, Priyanka Vadra comes along, that you turn this into some kind of a PR tamasha as part of your politics. And he went to the extent of saying that you're trying to pressurize the judiciary.
You know, but for the fact that it's a constitutional post holder who's making this allegation, I think it would be laughed out. It would be a laughable thing, not dignified by a reply. But since the sitting law minister who has made it, I think what is laughable are his attacks on the basic structure. What is laughable are his attacks saying that there should be a member of the government sitting in the collegium. That's really what is more laughable. But as far as this is concerned, you tell me one thing. Have you seen the letter which Rahul Gandhi wrote in reply to the eviction notice? Can a politician be more polite? If he's a former president of an All India party, one of the oldest parties in this country, and 3 constitutional post holders, chief ministers, accompany him as the leader of a major party in this country, who is the BJP to object? Did they come and intimidate the court? Did they raise naras inside the court or outside? Having tried to gag Rahul Gandhi and several other leaders inside and outside parliament on free speech, is Mr. Rijiju and his party now trying to gag their right to association, the right to free movement? If Priyanka Gandhi, another leader and the sister of Rahul Gandhi accompanies, who is Mr. Rijiju to say that? I hope that's not his best argument on the merits, that people accompanied him to show solidarity peacefully, in a gentlemanly manner, in a legal, democratic manner, exercising constitutional rights of association, movement. So I don't see the point of this except completely rash comments of which we've been hearing again and again every day from constitutional post holders.
You would have seen the order from a Pakistan court on the issue of sedition. Are you hoping that this leads to a larger debate on criminal defamation an order from the Supreme Court on outdated statutes like sedition. So it becomes bigger, because if Rahul Gandhi can be disqualified and convicted for the kind of comment that he made, it really narrows the space for free speech in the political context in India.
See, I'm not used to making rash comments or comments not based on record. So I have three answers to your point. Point one, this is not the proceeding for what you are saying for that.
Sure.
This is the proceeding about his appeal against conviction on the main matter and his stay of conviction as far as the interim is concerned, apart, of course, from stay of suspension, stay of sentence. This is not the proceeding which will decide the constitutional validity, as lawyers call it, of sections 499 and 500. Point one. Point two, however, there is already an existing judgment called Subramaniam Swamy versus somebody, where ironically I defended these sections, and a judgment of the Supreme Court where I succeeded, which has held the provisions to be constitutional. So in an appropriate future case, the larger debate of whether these provisions are constitutional or not will have to be decided by the Supreme Court by a larger bench, because there is already a governing bench in a judgment authored by former Chief Justice Deepak Mishra upholding the constitutional validity. Thirdly, we rightly criticize Pakistan for so many things, but always remember there are things to learn from everyone. Certainly in the area of sedition, just because it is Pakistan, I don't think we should stop learning from their courts. Our courts have felt the same way, but they've not walked the talk yet in actually striking down the sedition provision. They have done almost that by an interim order passed by our Supreme Court, saying that this provision will not be applied to the several cases pending or may arise in the future. That is virtually rendering it in the interim to a dead letter. But they've not struck it down. The Pakistan court has struck it down. And it's a common provision, remember, from our common British heritage. So there's always something to learn from the worst examples. And Pakistan is one such example for sedition law. And lastly, I think, yes, there is now scope for a larger debate, despite the validity of 499 having been upheld already by the Supreme Court. We have never had the kind of misuse of these provisions as in this government. And that is what gives rise to a need for a larger debate.
Okay.
You have never had, Rahul, and in
But
your
that's
situation...
not entirely correct. Governments of all hues have misused the law, including the UPA government of the past, your governments in Maharashtra. The misuse of this law has been rampant and there are cases galore. So don't blame this government alone. All governments have done this, sir.
You didn't allow me to complete my sentence.
Okay.
I repeat, no. When I was completing my sentence, I was saying no government in the past has applied this law against public figures in politics, is the point I wanted to make. Yes, it has been applied against citizens or outside parliament. But here today, you are having public figures, A, B, opposition public figures, C, speeches given in political movement in respect of public interest in which sentences are plucked out, and D, applied almost entirely to the political opposition. Of course, E is within parliament as well as far as privileges is concerned.
Okay.
This combination of A to E is not happened before. The examples you are talking of are no doubt true of civil society or certain NGOs or other organizations. Even there, of course, the degree has never been as rampant as in this government since 2014. But yes, I accept there have been some cases. But there have been never cases as far as public figures are concerned, of political speeches being hauled up for defamation in this contrived manner that one person files in Patna, one files in Ranchi, one files in Surat, for a case where the three named persons don't file anything. So a community angle is taken.
Okay, so in any case, criminal defamation needs to be looked at. The law of sedition needs to be struck down. If Pakistan can do it, Britain's already done it. The sooner we can do it, the better. But you're saying that's not linked directly to this case. We'll track what happens from here. Dr. Singhvi, for joining us with your thoughts on a busy day. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is Rahul Gandhi succeeding in using his conviction and showing himself out as a political martyr? Will he benefit from this electorally? Or is the BJP being actually able to prove the charge that Rahul Gandhi is turning this into a big tamasha and ending up discrediting him further? There are two very different points of view on this, and joining us to debate and discuss on the Newstrack, I want to welcome Ajay Kumar, representing the Congress party, Sardar R.P. Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP for a legal perspective. We have senior advocate in the Supreme Court, Sanjay Hegde. I want to go across first to Sardar R.P. Singh on what we've just heard from Dr. Singhvi and the fact that the Congress believes that legally at some point in time in the weeks to come they will be able to get a stay on this conviction. Rahul Gandhi's disqualification will be stayed. He will become a member of parliament again, and in the meanwhile he would have used this opportunity, these court appearances, to hit home his point that opposition leaders are being mistreated on your watch and thereby, in his view, earn some political sympathy. Could this backfire for you?
Well, by doing so, they are challenging the courts also. They are challenging the decision of the court also.
How is that?
I'll tell you, because when the court decision came, they said it's all manipulated. I mean, recently when the court decision earlier came, they said it's all manipulated. And then now they have gone to the same court seeking relief, although they got some relief for some time. Let the court decide whatever they decide. But ultimately, the message was even the Jairam Ramesh is on record saying that we don't have faith in Supreme Court. So they are ridiculing the process of the court, and as they have all the right to do so, because they're a dynastic party, and dynastic parties don't believe in democratic processes and democratic systems.
In fact, it was Purnesh Modi, the complainant, who wasn't there in the court today. He seemed to be wanting to delay this rather than Rahul Gandhi.
But ultimately, he will have to be in the court. I mean, he could have missed the date, but he had to be in court. But other part is that why carry all this jumbo? Modi ji was also called by the various agencies to investigate, but never such a big
Let
crowd.
Me put that question.
Give me another second.
Yes.
And then also Chief Minister Baghel, Chief Minister Sukhu, Chief Minister Gehlot, they were along with them, and this clearly shows that they are stamping what Mr. Rahul Gandhi has said about OBCs. I mean, it means that all three chief ministers are with Rahul Gandhi on his viewpoint on OBCs and what he has said about OBCs.
But he actually hasn't said that about OBCs in particular, because, and I'll explain to you why. Nirav Modi comes from a Jain community of Palanpur, a small town in the western state of Gujarat. He's actually a Jain. Lalit Modi is a Marwari. So when you're saying he's saying this about OBCs, the people he's referring to actually come from the Jain and the Marwari community.
I'll appreciate if before this debate get over, you play that clip in which he says, "Sare chor Modi ke hote hain."
So he's referring to Nirav Modi, Lalit Modi. One is a Marwari, the other is a Jain. You are using this as an opportunity to make it seem like an attack on the OBC communities.
Had he ended with this, good enough.
Okay.
He would have even named Prime Minister Fateh. That was he wanted to drive at. But after that, extending it to Sare Chor Modi ke hote hain, and that was the problem. And then there is a Modi community which is OBC, which is Teli in Gachi Teli. So it is there.
No, but he's also anyway, that's a political point.
No, give me a second.
Yes.
That's why the court has given a decision. I mean, otherwise they could have challenged this in the court, and it's not that it happened overnight. I mean, it took a lot of time and a lot of hearings in the court and the process of the court, and they could have easily challenged this in the court, but they didn't do so.
I want to go across to Ajay Kumar on the charge that the BJP leveled. We saw Kiran Rijiju, the law minister, start this in the morning, saying that why are you turning this into a PR tamasha? Why do so many chief ministers need to go? He's essentially saying the Congress is doing a drama to try and threaten the judiciary. Rahul Gandhi could have gone by himself. Why carry this big entourage?
Look, first things, let me counter what Mr. Arthur said. You know, the Haryana Chief Minister said just now, yesterday, if my facts are correct, that one of the judges का दिमाग गड़बड़ा गया है. इनका दिमाग को ठीक करना चाहिए to that effect. Kiran Rijiju ji, the Motormouth minister, has been attacking the judiciary left, right, and center. Suddenly, their newfound love for judiciary is so ridiculous, you know, that, I mean, Arthur Singh, I'm sorry, but I might fall off my chair if you keep saying that, you know, you respect the judiciary, because it's quite a joke. The other interesting thing is on OBC. When Akhilesh Yadav lost the election, the CM residence was cleaned by Gangajal. Now, what do you indicate by this? Please deny if you have said this. It is the most casteist, hateful action. And none of the BJP denied it. So here is the party which continuously insults OBC and uses OBC when it is convenient. That is not a problem. They will continue to allude to a ridiculous charge of OBC charge, and you correctly said that it was Nirav Modi, Mehul Chokshi, Narendra Modi. Where is the caste? There are some across the people, but now you want to twist it into a OBC thing. By the way, the OBC thing was 1993 when the Modi Gandhi caste became a OBC. That's for a separate debate. So the question is, you want to make it an OBC issue, people of India? No, first explain what Mr. Modi wrote on Dalits in his own book. Mr. Modi said that the Dalits are happy to lift sewage material. Or Ms. RSS Chief Gowalkar and bunch of folks who have said hateful things about Schedule Caste, Schedule Tribe, OBC and women. First you deny these people, then come and preach about OBC as this thing. Sir, please, I would request you because it's ridiculous. Now the the question you raised, Rahul, is it is a political issue. When they stop the parliament and they make false allegations and they lie about OBC issues and tell untruths and all, they play politics. It is, oh, by the way, we respect judiciary. The fact is that it is the people of India must see and will know that when Mr. Rahul Gandhi is going, what is the issue? People will see, people will know, there will be debate and discussion. We are fighting it through the legal process and we'll fight it through the political process. And the most important part to ask these things happens, it was not in the same court, sir. It was in an appeal court where Mr. Gandhi went. This is the sessions court. It was a trial court, not the judge who passed on the sentence. So, Rahul, net, if the Bharatiya Janata Party comes and makes ridiculous OBC things, then I want them to say that first they must denounce Mr. Gowalkar on a TV show, saying that the RSS founder was hateful in his comments on the SC, women and OBCs. And Mr. Modi said very hateful things about the scheduled caste people. And Mr. Yogi cleans the chief minister.
Okay. So one of the charges leveled by the BJP is that they turned this legal appearance into a show of strength. I want to show our viewers what happened on the 21st of December 2015, where then Minister Arun Jaitley had filed a defamation case against Arvind Kejriwal. This is for 10 crore rupees in damages. He's seeking the prosecution of Kejriwal. And he's gone to court with the likes of Venkaiah Naidu, Smriti Irani, Dharmendra Pradhan, JP Nadda, all accompanying him. So the Congress is saying, if Jaitley ji can do this and go with all these leaders and that is acceptable, why can't Rahul Gandhi go with his chief ministers and leaders?
Well, first let me answer the bunch of thought on Golkar ji. Before this debate ends, I'll appreciate, please refer to that book and then let us know the page number. And because I have in my memory, it's not there. I mean, I read it long back, but it's not there. And if it's there, please appreciate do that, because just going on a WhatsApp dictionary or WhatsApp channel networks, you don't do this, please. You are a very seasoned person, and I admire you for your reasonability also on TV debates. One. Secondly, as far again, Chief Minister of the states. I mean, imagine 3 Chief Ministers of the state with the Mr. Rahul Gandhi. I mean, he can do a show of strength. There is nothing wrong in it.
No, but Jaitley ji had Venkaiah Naidu, Dharmendra Pradhan, Smriti Irani, JP Nadda with him.
As leader of the opposition.
No, this is 2015, not as leader of the opposition. When he was in government, when he filed a case against Kejriwal.
So, no, he filed a defamation case against Kejriwal. He filed a defamation case against Kejriwal. Here is a guy who's convicted. The difference.
But it's a show of strength.
No, but here's the guy who's convicted by the court. There's a people who are following a convict. He is not still off the mark of the court. So he is convicted, and then to show of strength with a convict of person who has used slurred language against the OBC or Pichhdi Jati.
Okay, I want to go across to Sanjay Hegde and try and comprehend the Congress's legal strategy. First, they delay this by more than a week. They don't go to the Sessions Court. There's some sense that Rahul Gandhi may want to pay political martyr, want to surrender himself. He doesn't do that. They don't go to the High Court or the Supreme Court either, going back to the Sessions Court, where they've now challenged the conviction and sought a stay. What do you make of the strategy? And do you think this could be more efficacious than appealing before a higher court?
I don't speak for the Congress or its legal team. But nevertheless, as a lawyer, what they've done is the correct thing. Always go to the court of lowest jurisdiction, which can hear the case. And here there is a full appeals process from the magistrate. You go to the sessions judge, and then if you do not get relief, go up the ladder. The problem with directly approaching the Supreme Court, and this is what I tell all clients, is that if the Supreme Court says no, then there is no other court which can say yes. So to that extent, going to the Sessions Court, I think, is the right move. They have a formidable lawyer in Mr. R.S. Chima, who has been the former Advocate General of Punjab. He has also been the prosecutor in the coal scam cases, and he has a tremendous knowledge of criminal law, which is highly respected across the board. So I think I can't find fault with their legal defense after the conviction.
How long do you think this process in the Sessions Court could take? Because Rahul Gandhi may have to leave 12 Tughlaq Lane. He's already been served a notice. Parliament will only convene now in the monsoon session, so there's some time for Parliament, but he may have to leave his house. Is that a factor? How long do these things typically take in your view?
Well, I can't predict the court process, especially because I do not practice in Gujarat. But I would normally expect that it would be 1 or 2 hearings on the stay application. After all, we are only considering whether the conviction should be stayed.
What's the grounds for stay? Why should the judge consider staying this conviction?
See, you must remember that here the 2-year sentence was the maximum sentence allowed. And but for the 2-year sentence, Rahul Gandhi would not have been disqualified. If he had been sentenced to 1 year, 11 months and 29 days, he still would not have been disqualified.
No, what are your grounds for staying?
So the basic point is the disproportionality of the sentence. Secondly, there is also the question of jurisdiction itself. What happened in Kolar, could you take notice of it in a Gujarat court? Thirdly, there comes the question of whether the complainant, Purnendu Modi, had a cause in defamation itself, because he was not in anybody's contemplation. And as you yourself said, there is no one monolith Modi identity which is restricted to one community. That's like saying that if somebody said something about Sanjay Hegde, then Pooja Hegde, Virendra Hegde, Mahesh Hegde, and everybody with the surname Hegde could take action for defamation all over the country. That's not how the law operates.
Okay, let me put those questions to Satyapal Jain. One, the disproportionality of the sentence. This is the maximum sentence that could have been given. That's one of the arguments that will be used by the legal team to ask for this sentence to be stayed. How do you respond? If it had been just 1 day less, he wouldn't have been disqualified as MP. The Congress lawyers will argue that the whole idea is to get RG disqualified as MP because he's proving to be a political thorn for the government.
See, under the IPC, which was enacted as back as 1860, section 499 and 500 are there on the book right from day one. I have not been able to find out any amendment in that. And section 500 says that if you commit an offence of defamation, you can be sentenced to 2 years plus fine or both. So it's to say that it's only sentence part is there, fine part is also not there, not correct. Number 2, see, we have a different system. Executive, legislature and judiciary. What punishment has to be given, how much has to be awarded, that is the discretion of the judicial magistrate.
It's up to 2 years. But Sanjay Hegde, respond to that. Satyapal Jain's counter that it is for the judge to decide. Sanjay Hegde can't decide whether it's 2 years or not. The judge in his wisdom thought that Rahul Gandhi should be sentenced for 2 years.
So the judge's judgment is being questioned, and therefore it will definitely be said it's disproportionate, because in a great mass of defamation cases, Rahul, as you know, normally people are let off with an admonition or a fine, or in very bad cases of defamation, a month or 2. What was it that prompted an unprecedented 2 years?
May I just make one point?
Yes, Mr. Jain, go on.
May I just make one point
on,
here?
sir, go on.
I say, may I just make one point? Whatever you are saying, that according to you or Rahul Gandhi, the judge has given the excessive punishment, this will be a matter of argument in the appellate court. This session judge will again examine the whole issue, again find out, and if the session court feels it is excessive, he can reduce it. I am really surprised, a pure question of law, legal and constitutional issue, why an attempt is being made to criminalize, politicalize, and give an impression as if because of this and because of that.
Let's come to the second issue, which was raised by...
Her election was set aside, she had to go in appeal.
Which was raised by Sanjay Hegde. This is the issue of geography. The comments were made in Kolar. Does a court in Surat have jurisdiction over a comment made in Kolar? That's the second question he raises. Satyapal Jain, from a legal perspective.
Because of the reason that these comments might have been made so far as the particular place is concerned, but they have been telecast on the television throughout the country. And now again I will say, if you feel jurisdiction is not there, they should have gone to the High Court to challenge the issue of jurisdiction. Mr. Hegde and we know very well, daily we are arguing the cases, going to the higher court saying that this court has no jurisdiction. And High Court decided the issue of jurisdiction. Mr. Rahul Gandhi did not question the jurisdiction. Mr. Rahul Gandhi did not regret or tender his apologies. Mr. Rahul Gandhi and his team, for the reason best known to them, did not take the case, perhaps from our assessment as a lawyer, as seriously as it should have been taken. Now ultimately they have to face the consequences as per law.
You want to respond to that maybe some of this could have been avoided if the Congress took the case more seriously. RG seems to have taken it very lightly initially. They didn't put up a strong enough defense.
Yeah, so Rahul, one fact that RG thinks if you do any kind of search, you'll get to Mr. Bawalkar's statements on Schedule 13 and Schedule 5, and it's confirmed. Because I just was searching for that. With adequate reference material, it goes to bunch of talk. Just to set that aside as a matter of fact. I was loving the Mr. James speaking. The question again is, why did we go to the High Court? Why did we question the jurisdiction? The matter is simple. If the BJP politicizes this case, then they are not politicizing. If we decide on a strategy whether to go, we took our time. We went to the appropriate court to file our appeal. That is our strategy, and we will put the right in front. There are so many issues. Did the judge initiate 202 under CRPC under the CRPC to initiate investigation, but took it suo motu without any investigation by any police officer or conduct any inquiry which is beyond his jurisdiction? Also, it was not in his jurisdiction. But then the law clearly says that the judge should also get it inquired under Section 202 CRPC. That didn't happen. So you can keep arguing on the legal finesse of legal fine points, which both the learned lawyers have adequately equipped. The issue is simple. What anybody with a common sense, the law is for the people with common sense. On 2019, Mr. Gandhi makes this statement in Kolar. The case gets filed. The gentleman, the complainant goes and gets it stayed for a year, 2 years approximately. Suddenly, Mr. Gandhi speaks against the Adani, against the relationship between Mr. Adani and Mr. Modi on the 9th of February. Within 9 days, the person goes to High Court, withdraws his stay, and the trial starts and Mr. Gandhi is condemned.
And respond to this. This is very awkward that the complainant seeks a stay on his own petition. That usually doesn't happen. Okay. And then when Rahul Gandhi starts attacking the government on the Adani issue, he asks for that stay to be vacated and the case gets expedited. People are saying you just look at the sequence of events.
Let Satyapal Jain answer the technical. I'll give the political answer. Satyapal ji, will you answer the technical part? Then I'll answer the political part.
See, I have to. Yes, I am replying to that. Just now, my friend said that it was a part of their strategy whether to go to High Court or not to go High Court. This is what he said. So if it was more of a political strategy rather than a legal strategy, then ultimately they have to face the consequences. They have to face the consequences.
No, but you're not answering the question. The fact that Purnesh Modi goes to the High Court, asks for a stay on his own petition, then when Rahul Gandhi starts attacking the government, asks for that stay to be vacated.
This is what I'm saying.
Yes. What are you saying?
I'm submitting reply to this that if the person had gone to the High Court to get the stay vacated, it was at that time that they should have taken the point. It is at that time they should have objected to the High Court.
No, I'm only on the question, sir. I'm only on the question of a petitioner seeking a stay on his own petition. Sanjay Hegde, does that happen often? Somebody seeking a stay on his own petition and then without any change in circumstances getting it vacated. Okay,
Rahul was following his own strategy. Petitioner was following his own strategy.
Okay.
Petitioner has succeeded, Rahul has failed.
Okay.
Yes. So as far as I saw the record, he wanted to interrogate Rahul Gandhi on the basis of some videos. That application was denied by the trial court. He took that up to the High Court. And then, yes, as Mr. Ajay Kumar said, that there was a particular time where he felt possibly that the matter was auspicious, that he decided that if forget all this video evidence, I will go on with the matter as the trial court decides. And as Mr. Jain says, his strategy succeeded. Now, do you want to draw conclusions? People do draw conclusions.
Both were having.
You
both were
want to
having their
think
own
it's
strategy.
coincidence?
Both were having their own
Coincidence.
strategy.
No, no.
One succeeded, other did not.
Okay, if Rahul Gandhi can have a strategy, Ajay Kumar, Satyapal Jain's response is Purnesh Modi can have a strategy as well. What's wrong with that?
Did Rahul Gandhi have a strategy? That's the first.
One second. Arjit Singh साहब, the question was-
एक मिनट अजय कुमार जी पहले ये भी बता दीजिए कि क्या उनका कोई स्ट्रेटेजी थी क्या?
So can I answer it, sir? That
Ajay, go on.
He asked me, I thought. Okay, good. Thanks. First of all, Mr. Jain, either you're speaking, you're looking at the legal aspect, you're looking at Mr. Purnesh Modi's strategy. I'm not going to make a comment. My comment was very simple. That this gentleman went and got a stay. And then when Mr. Gandhi makes a statement on the 9th of February, the stay gets vacated and the trial proceeds, and within 9 days period or so the judgment is passed. My question is that. The question is whether anybody in this country who's watching, you say belief in the judiciary and everything else, and it's fine. But all good people in this country, when they watch this process, and I'm sure even you will, would your conscience not click and say that, look,
No, but when you hear this, RP Singh, नहीं लगता दाल में कुछ काला है? Who goes and gets a stay on his own petition? Who gets a stay on his own petition?
Let's understand. एक मिनट
The
पहली बात
person that you're questioning, seeking a stay, I understand. You filed a case and you go get a stay on your own petition?
अजय कुमार
No, it was not. Mr.
थोड़ा
Rahul,
चेंज थोड़ा
let
एक
me
मिनट
clarify.
अजय कुमार
Sanjay Hegde has clarified. Sanjay Hegde has clarified.
Yeah.
Sanjay Hegde has clarified.
No, let me come in. Ajay Kumar,
Cross-examined.
Ajay Kumar, Guruji in Prayagraj in 1966 said all Hindus are born from Mother India's womb and all Hindus are equal and there is no untouchability. I am quoting from Guruji's bunch of thoughts in 1966 as well. So, just for your reference, so
No,
please.
I'll give you another reference,
Sir, I'm saying it record. I'll appreciate.
But I'll give you another reference.
I'm prepared to take this debate on with you. I'll appreciate. Please send those details to me, and I'll take this debate on with you. And also, RSS doesn't. No. Give me a second. RSS doesn't abide by the bunch of thoughts. RSS or BJP doesn't abide by a bunch of thoughts. I mean, any individual can have his idea and his thoughts, but I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't. It's not binding.
Ajay, you want to make a
someone.
quick counter?
But very small thing. Very small thing is that court process.
My question, Rahul, is, look, it's very clear what Mr. Kowalkar said. He said that the lower caste should serve the higher caste. I'm doing a sort of an English translation to it. Just those things are not only avoidable. Even the son, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat said that the bunch of thoughts are not relevant. My question, I was just saying that here is a party which is claiming insult to caste. It's a joke. I mean, they insult every caste every day. They insult everybody every day. And even, I don't know, why don't they speak on Akhilesh Yadav and Gangajal? Because
Okay, that's not the point. You know, that's going off in a different direction. I want to stick to this case. And this case, one of the other bases for seeking stay, Satyapal Jain, is that Purnesh Modi isn't the one who's been defamed. Usually, a defamation case is filed by the person against whom defamatory comments have allegedly been made, whether it's a Lalit Modi, a Nirav Modi. If they had gone to court, it would have been a different matter. Here is a random third person who's not been defamed directly. He's gone, and that's one of the reasons why a stay has been sought.
Mr. Rahul, you now yourself just read the statement of Mr. Rahul Gandhi at that particular moment. It is having 4 or 5 sentences, and ultimately he say कि सारे चोर का नाम मोदी ही क्यों होता है? तो this covers all Modis. You forget about anybody else. And all Modis everywhere sitting in the world has a right to sue him for defamation. Number 2, he has filed a case.
Mr. Jain,
he has
can
succeeded.
I interrupt for a
Court
minute?
has granted him the maximum punishment, and no malice against the judge. No bella fide against the judge. Now the session judge will also again examine the whole thing. Appeal is the re-hearing of the case. And as you put a question just in the beginning, the session judge will re-examine the whole issue.
Sanjay, the Satyapal Jain's counter is, he says via all Modi's chores or via all chores Modi. No, he said via all chores named Modi.
There is a huge difference there.
No, he says via all chores Modi.
सारे मोदी चोर क्यों होते हैं?
Any Modi can file a case.
सारे चोर मोदी क्यों होते हैं?
There is a judgment of the Supreme Court.
अलीगढ़ वाला judgment है सर, मेरे को भी पता है. I know it.
Even a member of the party can file the defamation.
So there is no Modi party. There are Parsi Modis, there are Jain Modis, there are Banya Modis.
But there are OBC Modi also.
They are not a collection of individuals as required.
There are OBC Modi also. Why are you missing on OBC Modi also? There are Modis who are OBCs also. Why are you missing on that? पिछली
There
जाति
may
से
be,
मोदी
but
आते
they
हैं.
do not come within the mischief of the law.
Forward Modi's also.
Please read the second exception to 499.
And Rahul Gandhi will now get ample opportunity to put his point again before the district judge. All these issues will be examined again. All these issues will be examined again, whether jurisdiction was not there, whether Modis were defamed or not, whether community has been defamed. Unfortunately, pure legal issue, an attempt is being made by the Congress to just politicalize it. And without realizing that they are losing on the legal side. And if they lose on the legal side, consequences will follow.
Okay, I'm out of time. Very quick
And
final word.
it took 4 years for them to decide on it. I mean, they had all the 4-year time, 2019 to 2023 now. They could have gone to court, they could have raised all these questions, they could have raised the question of domain, they could have raised the question whether all Modis are OBCs or not, they could have raised this, but they didn't do so. They probably thought it would... no
Ajay
court can-
Kumar, respond
no court-
to this.
No court can...
Did the Congress take this case?
Court can give him punishment. No
Not
court can take a
seriously?
punitive action against him.
Were you not serious about this
You're
case?
not serious because Dynasty doesn't think way. Dynasty thinks they are above all.
It was addressed to me, so I'll answer it. My question again is, look, Rahul, I want to tell Mr. Jain, you might have a brief to say, but when you are in the similar situation, we will be the first that to defend it, because what's happened? Nobody in his right mind on political statements. What about Jersey cow? What about Congress Vidwa? What about 54-year-old girlfriend? What about these kind of the most...
Sir, you had all that time and you have all that time and right to go to the court. But you can't cast all OBCs as chore. Just make a question and then laugh it off. आप उपहास नहीं उड़ा सकते.
Let me complete. All women in India, all widows should...
Sir, you better train your leader not to put his foot in his mouth again and again. That's the problem with him. He doesn't know what he's speaking when he's speaking. When he speaks, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't make sense when he talks about anything serious.
Mr. Modi says Congress ki Vidwa Jersey cow...
Sir, you have all the time to go to the court. Please, I mean, instead of debating here, you could have gone to the court. And you can have Mr. Hegde to help you out in these matters.
Okay, I'm out of time on this debate. I don't want to let this degenerate into a tutu meme. That's not our style. We try and make sense, not noise. You've heard different political and legal perspectives. Now it's the Sessions Court judge who will determine what happens next and whether the sentence can be stayed. We'll track that closely. To my guests for joining us, thank you very much. When we come back, West Bengal continues to simmer after Ram Navami clashes. Fresh violence erupts in Hooghly. We'll get your ground report after this break.
First responders searched for more possible victims on Saturday after powerful tornadoes tore through Arkansas, where at least 5 people were killed and dozens of others were injured in the storms. Officials said the tornadoes flipped over vehicles and brought down power lines in Little Rock and large areas east of the state capital. One eyewitness captured the moment a tornado swept over his vehicle in Little Rock.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
A blast of extreme weather swept through much of the U.S. on Friday, with thunderstorms and tornadoes menacing the nation's midsection from Texas to the Great Lakes.
This is the Whiteland, coming up on Whiteland exit.
In Indiana, authorities said 3 people were killed and a state of emergency was declared for the affected areas. Eyewitness footage showed overturned trucks and debris scattered across a road following a violent storm.
That was a warehouse, I think. This whole area is a wasteland.
In Belvidere, Illinois, 1 person was killed and 28 were injured when extreme weather tore the roof off a theater during a heavy metal concert. The extreme weather comes 1 week after a deadly tornado devastated the Mississippi town of Rolling Fork, destroying many of the community's 400 homes and killing 26 people.
West Bengal continues to simmer days after Ram Navami clashes. Hooghly was on the boil again as fresh violence was reported from the clash epicenter. Mamata Banerjee hit out at the centre, accusing the party of dangabazi. The Saffron Party, on the other hand, levelled the appeasement charge at the West Bengal Chief Minister.
Days after Ram Navami clashes, West Bengal remains a communal tinderbox. The BJP is on the war path after its yatra in Hooghly was hit by stone pelting and arson on Sunday. A BJP march to Hooghly, led by top state leaders, was stalled by the police on Monday. The party staged a sit-in after the yatra was foiled. The main opposition party has blamed Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee for the unrest.
भाजपा कैसे प्लान करेगी? भाजपा प्लान करती तो भाजपा के पास पत्थर होता ना, बम भाजपा के पास होता। भाजपा ने तो बम नहीं मारा, दिखाई दे रहा है कौन पत्थर मार रहा है। और पुलिस पर हमला हुआ, पुलिस पत्थर मार रही है, ये भी वीडियो है। मुसलमानों को क्यों मार रही थी पुलिस? क्योंकि पुलिस भी खुद आक्रांत हुई ना। बाद में क्या हुआ? पुलिस के पास फोन आया, कहाँ से? तृणमूल के नेताओं का फोन आया, तो भाग गई उधर से।
The TMC and the BJP are blaming each other for the communal flare-up in the state.
রামনবমীর মিছিল 5 দিন হবে কেন? রামনবমী যেদিন হয় সেদিন তোমরা মিছিল করো, আমাদের কারো আপত্তি নেই, কিন্তু বন্দুক নিয়ে মিছিল করবে না, বোমা নিয়ে মিছিল করবে না।
ममता बनर्जी हार चुका था, मुसलमान वोट उसको नहीं मिला, इसलिए मुसलमान वोट को एक साथ करने के लिए, मुसलमान लोगों को खुश करने के लिए उन्होंने पूरा खुल्लम खुल्ला छोड़ दिया है। सिर्फ रामनवमी नहीं, दुर्गा पूजा, विसर्जन, सरस्वती पूजा में भी हिंदुओं का शोभा यात्रा में अटैक होता है। और उन्होंने खुद बोल रहे हैं कि रमजान महीनों में मुसलमान लोग कुछ नहीं करते, अच्छा काम करते, कि अच्छा काम का ये निदर्शन है।
In an exclusive interview to India Today, West Bengal Governor Ananda Bose said a special cell is reviewing the situation in the state.
What has happened? Deplorable, unfortunate. That does not bring credit to anyone down the line. Trying to throttle democracy and derailed by the forces or advocates of mobocracy cannot be tolerated.
Over 10 people are arrested for the stone pelting on BJP's Shobha Yatra on Sunday. Miscreants had hurled stones, bombs, torched vehicles and vandalized several properties in the area. The Calcutta High Court hearing at PIL has asked the state government to submit a report on the clashes along with CCTV footage and other videos by Wednesday. The High Court has posted the matter for hearing on Thursday. With Suryagini Roy in Hooghly, Bureau Report, India Today.
This is where we wrap up the Newstrack tonight. For your time and your trust, thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. Till then, from all of us here, goodbye, good night.